is just fantastic.
Captain's log, subdates 211118.9. Note to self, don't sniff any of the supplements that Alexlbnz sells. It only ends with your head down a toilet and your arse in a bucket. Wait, was it the other way round? I wonder how low my voice can go. Hello everyone, welcome to the exhibition of stupid people. Yes, my voice still hurts, but it does go quite deep, which is handy for the time being, but it does mean that I'm a bit, well, drained vocally. Sorry about that. Hopefully it won't be such a thing next week. Today we're going to start with Insulate Britain. We spoke about them last week, concerning how much of a bunch of hypocrites they are. For this we're going to insert Emma Smart, a 44-year-old who is now going on a hunger strike. Why is she going on a hunger strike? Because she suffered the consequences of her poor decisions, and yes, she is, like everyone else in Insulate Britain, a massive hypocrite. To prove that, she went on an 81,000-mile gas-guzzling world tour in a 4x4 before she became a road-blocking protester. 2 activists for Insulate Britain have been jailed for 3 months, and a further 6 have been imprisoned for 4 months. Why? Because she blocked the motorway. What did you think was going to happen? Did you really think they're just going to let you glue yourself there and let natural selection take its course? You're precious and you know it. For those who don't know who Insulate Britain are, they're essentially an offshoot of Extinction Rebellion. They began around the time of September in London. They then spread to Birmingham, Manchester and laughably Dover. Should point out now, I live near Dover. Those protests did not go down well because motorists were more than happy to run you over. They have always been happy to run you over. But back to the reason why Emma Smart is going on a hunger strike. Because she was jailed for her involvement in those protests, with her husband now being terrified about her spending Christmas in maximum security that was once home to Rose West. I mean, can you not understand how there was no version of this where you'd end up with an OBE or something? Ooh, we now present you Dame Emma Smart. She's been knighted because of her work, her tireless work at blocking traffic. She's not a hypocrite, everyone. She's a climate change activist and a superhero worthy of the Avengers. So next we're going to go to a topic I saw trending on Twitter, where a head teacher has decided, so as to avoid the school going into debt, he has introduced a policy that if any of the students, or their parents by extension, owe more than a penny to the school itself, those children, if they receive school lunches, will not get a single piece of food. Neil Foden has introduced this as part of an approach recommended by the local council. The ultimatum itself that was delivered to the parents said the school cook had been instructed not to give food to any pupil if their debt has not been cleared, or in the future to children whose accounts do not have enough money to pay for lunch, with a November 19th deadline, so tomorrow, being set for parents to get their children's accounts up to date. Parents are a bit annoyed about this. However, the school last year racked up debts totaling more than £1,800 because of that, so they feel they have no option but to take these measures. I feel like this is another form of natural selection, but I could be wrong. Just to make this clear though, Neil Foden did admit that the debt was actually just because of a handful of pupils running up those debts, and while they had in fact taken measures to get the parents to pay the debts, in many of those cases they'd just gone up because the parents were not responding to messages. So any debt over £10 will go to the council, who will then invoice the parents. Any debt over 1 penny will receive a message from the school to clear the debts and credit the system, with further threats and measures possibly being introduced, which would include refusing to serve children at the school. And while he has apologized for this, parents have branded this absolutely disgusting. I think it's fascinating because many have been pushing for free school lunches, so how this kind of debt accrues is a bit strange to me. Clearly I don't know enough about the devolved administration's spending of money. At the same time, I've always believed there should be some kind of cap to it. That way debts of £100 are never reached or exceeded. So next we're going to go to something I saw on Instagram. Xavier Woods involved in WWE financial dispute over Up Up Down Down. Up Up Down Down is the YouTube channel he started. You can, if you go on the WWE merch store, buy a specific championship belt. There is in fact a left-right belt now. They play video games. It's actually a fun channel. Xavier Woods started this, but he sold the channel to the WWE a few years ago. Now this story reminds me a lot of Zack Ryder. Zack Ryder was never used properly by the WWE. Granted, he only had 4 to 5 moves, but the guy knew how to get the crowd going, to get the crowd on his side. Because of the Long Island Iced Z story that he did on a YouTube channel, he managed to get himself a US title. Prior to that, he was just a tag team champion and a journeyman, a jobber. But because of that, he got a push, which he was then annihilated for because the WWE got the rights to his channel. And understandably, they ruined his career for it. Well, in the WWE. He did eventually get an Intercontinental title reign, but it was quite short-lived as well. And when he was the Internet Champion, I'm actually somewhat surprised the WWE never went along with that as a legit championship belt, because I felt it opened a massive doorway. But what do I know, right? Xavier Woods, while working very hard on this channel, makes absolutely nothing in terms of monetary rewards from the channel. So he and WWE are in a financial dispute about the channel. Well, content creators are, for the channel, showing solidarity to Xavier Woods because they believe he's being taken advantage of. And so their plan going forward is to not post content until the WWE offers him a better financial deal, which is right. He may be talent and the WWE have a clause, they own all your social media accounts, so that, there aren't any leaks, and he knows all about leaks. Him, Brad Maddox, Paige, by all means look it up. But the WWE do micromanage every aspect of every one of their entertainer superstars' lives. They have a history of this. It's kind of pathetic. He shouldn't have sold the channel because he had his own thing going. But they did at the same time promote the channel, grow the channel, and it allowed other people to come forward and also made the WWE more interactive on the video game stage. What will the WWE do? Probably nothing. Because do they really need to care about the up, up, down, down channel? Not really. The main WWE channel is massive as it is. So why would they care? But at the same time, it is something quite good, so why break something that's good? All you have to do is be fair. Something which Vince McMahon is hardly known for. Unless your name is Hulk Hogan, Triple H, or John Cena. And now Roman Reigns. Oh, this product's bad. Really, really bad. So to our final subject and the main event, we go to Streamlabs, the plagiarizing pricks of the internet. I call them this because it turns out they didn't just rip off OBS's code and product without OBS's permission, which they did, but it turns out their own website was ripped off from another website entirely called Lightstream, who have called them out for it. Hey, can I copy your homework? Yeah, just change it up a bit so it's not obvious you copied. To which they've then included 2 images, one of their website and one of Streamlabs' website, going so far as to copy all the quotes from other people praising the product. Streamlabs themselves, we made a mistake. Text on the landing page was placeholder text that went into production by error. This is our fault. We removed the text as soon as we found out. Our intended version is now live. Lightstream team is great and we've reached out directly to them to apologize. OBS. Near the launch of Slobs, Streamlabs OBS, Streamlabs reached out to us about using the OBS name. We kindly asked them not to. They did so anyway, and followed up with filing a trademark. We've tried to sort this out in private and they have been uncooperative at every turn. We've often faced with confused users, and even companies who do not understand the difference between the 2 apps. Support volunteers are sometimes met with angry users demanding refunds. We've had interactions with several companies who did not realize our apps were separate. Legally, they have obeyed the terms of the GPL, but they've been repeatedly disregarded the spirit of open source and of giving back. Despite the actions of Streamlabs, the OBS project will continue to provide free open software and tools for everybody. We will continue to support our users, the community, and our amazing developers for their hard work. Streamlabs, we are taking immediate action to remove OBS from our name. Streamlabs OBS is built on top of the open source platform OBS. Streamlabs OBS is also open source, and our code is publicly available. We take responsibility for our actions and will support the community. The reason your code, by the way, is publicly available is because it is the same code as OBS. For those who don't know, Streamlabs OBS and OBS are streaming softwares. I myself use OBS. I always have, and I always will. It is efficient, it is simple. I followed some very simple tutorials from Jeff Holiday to set it up. Hi Jeff, hope you're well, babe. And I found it very easy for me to then be able to game stream on places like Omegon Plays Politics streams on Moistski Live, and of course stream Fishing on Twitch. Tonight, 7 PM GMT. Link below. What I found really fascinating about this was it was a massive plagiarism that was noticed by chance, that led down a rabbit hole. The face, for example, of Streamlabs OBS is Pokimane. Even she herself has called them out for this, saying Streamlabs better resolve this entire thread of issues, or I will be asking them to take my face off the platform and look to use another donation service. All in all, I find this incredibly amusing, not least because Streamlabs have cocked up in such a monumental way, and it's gonna hurt them, and they know it. Now, as we're done, I'd like to know what you think. Please do let me know in the comments down below. If my voice broke at any point during this video, I do apologize. I shall stream on Twitch if I don't see you there. Have a great day. Thank you all very much for tolerating this voice. Smash the like. Let's see if we can get as many likes today as we got dislikes yesterday. And thank you all very much for listening.